Well, I became an EAP mentor because I founded EAP. But the reason why I got involved in designing and creating EAP was after 40 years of being involved in different forms of bodywork. I realised that most of the issues that people dealt with were between their head and their heart, and that anything that we did physically certainly had some capacity for change and benefit, but it wasn't lasting in many cases. So ultimately, that's why I even created EAP and why I'm still involved in it. The difference that EAP has made to me, and I have to say that at every point when I was developing it and I was fine-tuning it and trialling it, I was trialling it on me. And in fact, my own engagement to the EAP had me walk the Camino in 2011 as part of my finding balance to who I was physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually. But the benefit to me has been that I've finally began to realise how a story that I've been running from my childhood has completely underpinned my whole life, and particularly my work as a healer. You know, my story was about my needing to be noticed, and I spent my whole life doing the work that I was doing in an attempt to get noticed. Now, sure, I extended myself and really worked with people, successful practice, hugely successful practice. But do you know what the sponsoring thought that was underpinning it all was? The fact that I needed to be noticed. And that then created a whole lot of problems in terms of being overweight, in terms of having poor boundaries, not being able to say no to people, pushing myself and working long hours, needing to have my appointment booked weeks ahead in order to feel a sense of security. All of those things eventually came to a major crash in an intersection. And what EAP did was to give me the tools and the ability to move beyond what drove that to a place where I could turn up in the world and be peaceful in terms of how I approach my work and really turn up and be of service. The thing that really benefited me was that I became an authentic listener, and it was about, in being truly aware, I was able to hear what was true for them. In awareness, when we're not in awareness, we're actually in our own story and everything's about ourselves. In that place of being truly aware, I could be truly compassionate, and from that I could serve my clients in a way that I had never successfully done before. I was great at being able to treat symptoms, but invariably it meant that those people came back and had to have repeat treatment for the same thing showing up every 6 months, every 12 months, maybe every 2 years. Once I got really clear about being an EAP mentor and being able to work with people with that awareness, what happened was I had people find their own personal clarity, their own personal sense of freedom and well-being and clarity of purpose. Once people got that, guess what happened? A lot of their symptoms disappeared because now they were fully immersed in how can I serve others? And once people made that shift from being self-centered to becoming clear about how they can serve, funnily enough, a whole lot of their symptoms disappeared, and we actually created sustainable change to their well-being. If you're a health practitioner and you're really into wanting to offer your clients sustainable well-being, then I would highly recommend that you consider becoming an EAP mentor. Because with the tool that we've created, which is the Enhances Awareness program, you've got this really lovely, delightful, structured program that you can work with your clients on a one-on-one basis over various periods of time, 3, 6, 9 months, depending on what's required, that can make real changes to their values and to what it is that they desire. And when those two things change, how we then act out in the world is governed by the fact that we are now mindful. As we become more aware, through being more clear about our values and what it is that we desire, we become more mindful. And as we become more mindful, we have this increased capacity to take more thought about how we treat our physical body through exercise and diet, how we work with our emotions through being able to be transparent and to be able to state and clear and share our emotions, to have mental clarity, to have that ability to be clear in our purpose and our thinking, and most importantly, to be motivated to turn up in the world to make a difference, to serve. When those things come together, and that's what EAP helps bring people to, when those things come together, something funny happens to the body, and that is it begins to heal.